Hello, my friends. So I just want to just chat for a moment for those interested in my top 6 materials that I like to use on a regular basis, or that I just find it very interesting to interact with. And this might kind of seem to be an odd video, but in a way it's not. Sometimes it's really good to kind of just step back and look at the big picture of what types of materials do you use on a regular basis and why? Why not choose something else? Sometimes you might want to choose something else, or at least try something else. Other times you just kind of get a deeper understanding of why things work as they work. And so I have 6 examples. I'm just going to run through it real quick here. The first is nylon. And I really like nylon over polyester because for the most part, in my experience, it seems to be quite a bit stronger, more abrasive resistant. It's great for backpacks and pouches, outer clothing garments, belts. I love my nylon webbing type belts, even parts of boots. I really like that they're nylon. They're very robust. Now, I do like polyester, though, if it's up against my skin, because I've noticed that polyester typically is softer. And so, there's a place for polyester, but I really like nylon. The second material is going to be polymer, in particular, polymer matrix-based materials like, and this is probably my number 1 pick for polymer, fiberglass reinforced nylon, FRN. And I've noticed that I have a lot of FRN everywhere, all through my gear. I thought that was really interesting when I started to look at this. So FRN is very robust, lightweight, it's affordable, moldable, color flexible, and it's really great for the handle scales of tools, of blades. I noticed that I have quite a few buckles, that use polymer. And there's actually tools, whole tools that are made just from polymer. It is really an interesting material. And there's so many different variations of polymer too. So just a really interesting material. Number 3 is stainless steel. For obvious reasons, it's fairly rust resistant. It's strong. It looks good in a variety of finishes. And the robust material is very cost effective. Some people really prefer carbon steel products. I just prefer the stainless steel variant because I am a lot more cautious with my gear than some. And also just in the environment that I live in, things are a bit more prone to rust than not. Another material that I really have come into in the last few years is titanium alloy. This is obviously very lightweight, but surprisingly, it's so extremely strong. It's really nice looking. From my personal preference, I like matte finish when it comes to titanium alloy. And, it just looks good on pretty much, that finish on like pretty much anything in titanium. Like my camp cook sets in titanium, they just look really good and matte. And, camp pots and bowls and cup sets, those are really handy to have when you're on the trail because it weighs almost nothing. And you also have a whole host of titanium flashlights now that are on the market. Once again, very lightweight, very strong. They just look good. Also, a lot of handle scales for blades or tools. And some tools are completely made out of titanium alloy. I know some people who collect pry bars made of titanium. The next material is going to be high tensile strength, aircraft grade aluminum alloy. And there's quite a few to pick from. I think probably the most common, at least the one that I had the most of, is the 6061 T6 aluminum. This stuff is very strong, very affordable, lightweight, has really good wear resistance. I've noticed that, especially if you have good anodizing. And I noticed this type of material is excellent to make flashlights with, to make the handle scales for pocket knives. And basically, there's all kinds of tools for light to medium duty that can be made of this as well. Lastly, I want to just focus on copper. This is now my top most favorite material to work with, or just to have and to use. Copper is, an amazing metal that it's so handsome, really, especially when it starts to patina and it starts to get the deeper, darker colorations. Copper is classy, if you ask me. It just not only just looks good, but it has all kinds of really interesting uses. It is a little bit heavier, right, than some other options out there. It's not as abrasive resistant, right? It's not as strong. It's one of those things that sometimes it does cost a little more than some other options. But one of the top things that I like from it, besides what I've just said, is that it has antimicrobial properties. In fact, it's way up there on the list. It's one of the top metals as antimicrobial. It's like it goes copper, then brass, then silver, and down the list. And what they found with recent research is that copper will deactivate COVID-19 within 4 hours. That's so amazing. So if you put COVID-19 on a piece of copper, within 4 hours, it will deactivate that virus. And I'm being very careful with my words because, a virus is not even alive. So it can't kill it because it was never alive to begin with, but it can deactivate it. So what they have found is that copper kills or deactivates bacteria and viruses. And it looks like copper is even more effective against bacteria than even viruses. And so one of the things they found is that copper interferes with proteins that keep cells alive. And so if you have bacteria and it's on copper, the copper will interfere, and there's a whole host of really deep physics. Some of it has to do with it steals electrons from the actual cell and all this. It's so amazing how all this works. So I would definitely promote, to check into this if you have interest in this topic. So it can interfere with the proteins and that keeps the cells alive. And because it interferes with it so much, it can kill the cells. And it can disrupt bacterial cells' membranes. And by doing this, it can destroy its RNA. And if it has DNA, it can destroy that as well. So it's amazing. It can also generate oxidative stress on bacteria cells, which creates, check this out, hydrogen peroxide, which kills the cells. Let me just repeat that. Copper can generate oxidative stress on bacteria cells, which creates hydrogen peroxide, which kills the cells. Wow. It's pretty cool. No wonder hospitals use copper and silver a lot because it's very antimicrobial and it keeps infection rates down. So I just want to pass this on. These are really cool materials to work with or to have. And a lot of us have these already. It's just, I just wanted to share my list. There has been a lot of talk about this, on different forums from time to time. And what is your favorite material for this or that? But these are just my top 6 all-time favorite materials for everything, just because I feel like they're so useful, just so useful. And so, hey, I hope everyone has a great day. I'll catch you later.